The videos in this series are not meant to represent my first playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. I have completed all main scenario quests, so I cannot promise you genuine reactions to certain cutscenes, but at the same time, I still might get in my feelings during certain cutscenes. What I can try to deliver on is a decent playthrough of this game. I hope you all enjoy. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV main scenario quest video, or MSQ for short. In the last video, not much got done, unfortunately. It was one of those quests where there was just a hell of a lot of dialogue to go through. In this case, due to all of my good deeds that I've been doing throughout Ul'dah and in the surrounding areas, I've been given the privilege of using the airships to travel to the other two city-states to deliver a message pertaining to a remembrance service for those that fell during the Battle of Cartano. So I went to deliver those letters to the leaders of those other two city-states. So that took me over to Gridania and Limsa Lominsa to speak with their leaders regarding the remembrance ceremonies, and each city-state, Ul'dah, Limsa Lominsa, and Gridania, will be doing their own remembrance service for honoring those that fell in the Battle of Cartano. Shortly after doing that, I've been given a lead as to, more stuff for an adventurer like myself to do. In this case, there's a disturbance happening here in Sastasha Seagrot, so we're gonna go ahead and investigate what's happening. So this is going to be our first dungeon, and the only dungeon that we have access to right now anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and hopefully we don't gotta wait too long. Usually if you're a tank or a healer and you're queuing up to head into a dungeon, usually the wait time isn't that long. It's typically almost instant. If you're a DPS, such as a monk, lancer, archer, black mage, scholar, the list goes on, but long story short, if you're a DPS class, the wait times tend to be longer. So, and that's only because there's a higher demand for tanks and healers. There's a hell of a lot of DPS players, but not enough tanks and healers. So, long wait times are bound to happen. So it looks like I'm gonna be waiting here for a little bit until it's time to do this dungeon. So, yeah. While we wait, I'm just gonna literally sit out here, and once we're actually able to enter the dungeon, we'll pop right back up and get things started. So I will be right. Actually, oh nope, scratch that. Found DPS. You just need a healer now, and awesome. This makes things so much easier. So let's get this show on the roll. Come on, there we go. Here we are, Sastasha. Alright, so I'm gonna lead the way, pull these guys. I'm gonna try doing somewhat big pulls. But before I do have to read this letter because that's gonna be a clue for solving a puzzle up ahead. Oh, alright. Come on, enemies, this way, gather round, gather round. I do hope the healer can keep up, because I did pull probably a bit more than I would like. Alright, there we go. That went very, very well. Healer kept me alive. My DPS is still alive. I didn't die. So let's go ahead and grab a few more enemies. Speed things up a bit. Alright, that's good. So far, so good. Alright, so one thing I want to point out, you see whenever I'm pulling a group of enemies, I'm not really facing the rest of my teammates. I'm having them like face away I'm turning them towards me and not having them turn towards them, because, you know, the enemies do have attacks that can hit them as well as me. I don't want them to hit them. I need all of their attacks to just land on me. That way, you know, teammates stay alive. Alright, a little more and we'll have our first boss for the dungeon to deal with soon. Alright, so I believe, yep, that was the red one. Whoa, now. Easy. Alright. Any loot that I can use for myself? No. No. And and no. So pass on all of these. All right, so definitely looks like pirates have set up home inside of here. Oh, he's running away, the goddamn coward. It looks like most of the loot that does drop from here I'm not really gonna need because I'm horribly overleveled. But thankfully when you're doing dungeons, your level does scale down to the appropriate level so you can actually do them and not be too crazy powerful. Still gonna be some sense of challenge. And speaking of challenge, let's see what happens if I pull all of these guys all at once. I'm probably gonna die, actually. This was a mistake. Oh god, no. I made a terrible mistake! Well, let's see if the healer can keep me alive. Well, spin to win, as they say. Wow. Nice. I honestly wasn't expecting to survive that big pull that I did. I'm like, I think I pulled too much. The healer might not be able to keep up. I just fucked up. But luckily that wasn't the case. Like, if you know what you're doing, then doing big pulls will be no problem at all. But I might be becoming a bit too reckless because this is the first dungeon, so things shouldn't be too crazy, but you know, a small mistake can just as easily ruin things. Oh. No. No, get away from them. This man keeps running away. Alright, I might want to be careful with how I do these enemy pulls. So, I do think, motherfucker, you ran right in the middle of them! Kind of went on autopilot there for a minute, my bad. Actually, you know what? I can pull these guys too. Fuck it. Live on the dangerous side today. Alright, so what are we dealing with over here? We have pirates that occupied the space. And, oh, the Sahagin. Well. Oh, yeah, he dead. So, there's our, here's the problem right here. Normally, for this fight, what DPS would need to do is interact with the unnatural ripples that you see over here. If you see water coming out of them, you need to interact with them to prevent enemies from spawning. Too many enemies spawn, it makes the fight a bit difficult, but nowadays we can just burn down the boss before the enemies even have a chance to spawn in. And just like that, we win. Good job, team. Let's commend the healer because he did a good job. No upgrades for me here. Nope. So pass on all of those. And let us head out and turn in this quest. And with that, we are done. We can head back over to Limsa Lominsa and speak with Baderon over at the Drowning Wench, which is that city's adventurers guild. Aye, such a task was on the books. Was, mind. I'm afraid that ship has already sailed, friend. Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigating Sastasha? I am. It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor, none the worse for its voyage. A pity. We dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter. The wheel will turn and our chance will come. You are right, of course, but there shall be no rest till we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader. Other adventurers. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in the songs of every alehouse in Eorzea. We mean to write a legend which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. Do you have such a goal? Large or small, it matters not. Only have a star to reach for and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eye on the prize and all obstacles will be overcome in time. You would not think to stride into battle unclad, would you? Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, sir. These guys are nice. I do believe we'll bump into them again later on. Back then, are ye? With all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager. Fishbacks. And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3. 7 hells, you turn your back for 5 bloody minutes and the scaly bastards have set up shop on your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so I don't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they were planning. Unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sastasha, of course. Any road, all's well that ends well. On behalf of Limsa, I thank you for shedding some light on this mystery. You've lived up to your reputation, and I couldn't ask for no more than that. Now, I'll bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking on another job. It just so happens that I've had a request from our sister guild in Gridania, see? Seems the forest folk are in need of a venturer, what can get things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade, but after the way you dealt with our fishback infestation, I doubt it's anything you can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready and I'll lay it out for you. Alright, no rest for the weary, I guess. Oh, we've unlocked the party finder. So essentially the party finder, since there's a tooltip that will tell us what it is. Let's see, party finder, where the hell? Here we go. Click on the party tab, which is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth button going from the left. Select the party finder, and you'll have a list of any group stuff that other players are trying to get started. Oh, here's the tooltip. The party finder has been added to the party section of the main menu. With the party finder, you can either search for a party to join or recruit other adventurers to form a party of your own. To join a party, select search for party and specify your search criteria. Upon finding a compatible party, simply select join party. To recruit adventurers for your own party, select recruit members and specify your recruitment criteria. Interested individuals will answer the call and you need only sit back and wait. So there you go. Party finder in a nutshell. Now then, what's this about the job in Gridania? Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania. And that's all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it posed any trouble for a venture that has survived the bedlam in Sastasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll have to have words with Mother Mion and me counterparts in Gridania. Good luck, mate. So, good thing I can teleport to these city-states now. Don't really need to take an airship. Alright. Here we are. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh? Not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about? You are? The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details and I shall brief you. Alright, let's hear it. But first, I want to move my high potion on here, just in case. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardon for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? Oh, and good day to you too, Bow Lord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. Good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Luin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat into Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Galmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixo at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Yes, you can. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be doing our second dungeon. So, neat. 2 dungeons in 1 video. Alright, do I have, yeah. Teleport using that aetheryte. In the last video, while I was delivering those letters in the last MSQ, I was also attuning myself to all the aetherytes in the surrounding areas of those city-states just to make traveling around a bit easier in the event I end up getting quests in those areas, and sure enough, I have a quest that's taking me to this spot. It'll take me closest to the dungeon and oh shit. Not where I wanted to jump. There we go. Although out of all the, I guess, starting zones, I do like Gridania. It's nice, green, lush, vibrant. Ul'dah is nice too, and Limsa Lominsa also has its charm, but I do like this zone. The only reason I didn't choose this area is because that would mean I would end up playing a totally different class. The class that you choose at the start of your game determines where your starting zone will be. So if you decide to be a Lancer, a Conjurer, or a Lancer, you would end up starting in Gridania. If you chose to be a Marauder, Arcanist, you would start off in Limsa Lominsa. If you wanted to be a Pugilist, Thaumaturge, or a Gladiator, you would start off in Ul'dah. Just something, hey! Boom! These guys again. So we meet again. I cannot say I'm surprised to see you here. You took the prize back in Limsa, but this time we will give you better sport, or I am no true adventurer. Think of our goal, sister. One day, our adventures will be the stuff of song, and it will all be worth it. Gods, I hate mausoleums. It's not right to disturb the dead in their slumber. So yeah, we do see these guys popping up here and there throughout our adventures. Nice bunch. You're JR, I take it? Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. With pleasure. And with that, let's get started with our second dungeon. Hopefully the wait won't be long. We got into Sastasha pretty quickly. So, let us see what happens. On second thought. Hold that thought. Oh, well, never mind. Here we are. Ooh. Oh wait, why am I stuck walking? No! I'm stuck in walking phase. Oh my god, why? Holy crap, how do I disable that? Because if I disable walking, it's gonna freaking stop the recording. Fuck it, hold please. Okay, much better. So it looks like I'll have to change the hotkey for stopping a recording. God damn. Alright, so just like Sastasha, this shouldn't prove to be too difficult. So I'll be doing a few big pulls. So I got the attention of those 3 enemies. We're gonna keep it moving. Make sure I have their attention. Alright. First boss is up ahead, so we'll just clear these guys out here. Alright, first boss. Alright. Disable that. Let's pull a little more. Alright, that should be plenty. What the? Oh no! Stay away from my person. Let's get rid of this spellcaster first, because he's gonna be problems if I don't take care of him now. Alright. Oh shoot, wrong way. Oh no, it's not. We're good. Alright. Next boss, same as the first boss. Alright. Disable this orb. Alright, so that's 2. So we have 2 more down that way. Nope, not an upgrade. Pass and pass.
All right, moving on. Oh, this is gonna end horribly. Whew. All right, disaster averted. Very nice. All right, follow me, follow me. This way, this way. All right, last bunch of enemies are in here. Oh my god. You know what? I'll take the risk. If I die, I die. Fuck it. Whew. Alright, let's grab the rosary, which will open up that little barrier that we saw along the way. Whew, all right. Whoa, you are ugly. All right, I'm gonna kick your ass now. Oh, he's invulnerable. So, throughout this boss fight, there's gonna be enemies that are gonna tether themselves to the boss, granting the boss invulnerability. Gotta kill the enemies that spawn first, and then you'll be able to damage the boss again. Typically, the DPS can handle anything that pops up. Oh, I can't interrupt that. Oh. Oh, yes, use your limit break. And that's another dungeon down. Another job well done. And I'm out. Let's go back and report to Mion and tell her that everything is safe over in the Deepcroft. Welcome back, Jay. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Baderon's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Bolord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. What's that? Oh, those guys. We saw them outside of Sastasha. Avare's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Avare's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, all right? Oof. Wait, don't leave me alone. Please. I'm so sorry, Avare. Please forgive me. And that, folks, is what happens when you don't know what you're doing. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Although that's kind of odd that she's carrying her friend's head around. That's disturbing. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventures of your experience. I can send men like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word and I'll be glad to share the details with you. The jobs keep piling up. Yes, yes, yes. So you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Mamodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Jay, and good luck. And luckily for us, we are well acquainted with Mamodi already, so... let's go ahead and deal with this. Although I might not deal with this third dungeon in this video, because I think we got a lot of stuff done already, but... you know what? Screw it. Let's do the dungeon. Just to knock all of these dungeons out all in one fell swoop. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... oh, it's you, Jay. And there I was spouting the same tired line. Mion sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papashan. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. Oh? Why, if it isn't my good friend Jay? It does my spirit well to know that you are the one who will be helping us. Mayhap you'd like to appraise Jay of the mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. Oh, we were doing a few side quests a few videos back over there. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the oh god, words. Why? Known as the Hecatoncheries. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the hecatontries to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is often the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the hecatontries, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels, so it was that the Great Giant Revolt was ended. Buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight ago or so. I just misread that completely. I apologize. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Looking for Painted Mesa? You found him. So, you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, mate. I just hope you've got skills to go with them, cause things ain't pretty down there. The hecatontries left the place in the right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ul dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. Alright, so head over to Horizon. That'll take us closest to the dungeon, and do I have enough time to actually run the dungeon? A third dungeon, mind you. Actually, you know what? Let's run this last dungeon for tomorrow, actually, because the dungeons are kind of lengthy. Not totally long, of course, but like this particular dungeon is a bit of a maze, so to speak. Lots of dead ends and stuff. So we're just gonna get access to the dungeon itself, and then that will be it for the video. So we're gonna talk to him. And with that, Copperbell Mines is now available for us to complete, and we will complete that tomorrow. So I do thank you for stopping by and enjoying the video. We've gone through 2 dungeons, and we're just getting better and better at our job, I guess.
So in the next video, we're gonna take on the Copperbell Mines as well as continue on with the main story quests. I promise you things will get a bit more interesting as things go on. So just bear with these uh, tiresome quests for a little while longer. If you did like the video, please feel free to leave a comment and subscribe for more Final Fantasy XIV videos. And with that, I will see you guys later. Take care, everyone.